All right, we are live and in person with day 4 of our Builderall 5.0 immersive training. And I'm so excited because, again, we've got a day that is chock full of information that you're going to need to be able to work your 5.0 and all the tools that are in Builderall. But let's kind of review what we've done so far. So day 1 was actually Jackie, and she went through Cheetah and Super Checkout and e-commerce and drop shipping. And then day 2 was Terry, where she covered email in Mailing Boss 5.0, and she did a good overview. And there's more of that coming as the beta testing continues to come online with more and more features. So that's awesome. And then yesterday, day 3, we had Frank, the amazing Frank, and he covered membership areas and e-learning. Now that is a ton of stuff that we've already covered, but we're going to do another amazing area today, and that is the webinar platform. This one is really exciting, you guys, because it's a very, very powerful tool. So let me give you some housekeeping before we actually get started. So the first housekeeping rule is find your phone, move it way over to the side, just out of reach so that it doesn't distract you. It's so tempting, you guys. I do it too, where I grab my phone and I'm like, what's the latest news? What's the latest messages? Blah, 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 blah. And then I totally lose focus of what I'm doing on the webinar. And let me tell you, Gene is up today and he is going to be dropping the knowledge bombs. You do not want to miss this. And this webinar is so powerful. Sorry, it's a platform that's so powerful that you don't want to miss the power that's in this platform. I think you're going to be surprised today with some of the things that Gene's going to show you that you can do inside of the webinar platform. So put that phone over to the side and make sure it's just out of reach so you're not tempted to grab it. Second thing, and the most important thing, make sure you've got some paper and something to write with, because he's going to drop knowledge bombs on you that some are related to the webinar platform and some are related to strategy on how to use the webinar platform and even some other tools inside Builderall. So you want to make sure that you've got that paper and something to write with handy, because when he drops that knowledge bomb, you want to write it down. And here's the reason why, because I can't tell you how many times, this is the pot calling the kettle black. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a webinar, somebody said something golden, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to remember that. I need to remember that. And then after the webinar, after the training, I'm like, they said something really important that was like earth shattering, and I can't remember what it is. So have that paper, have something to write with, and be ready, because the knowledge bombs are going to drop. So that is housekeeping. Phone over to the side, something, paper and pencil to write with, and you are ready to go. And now I want to introduce an amazing individual on the Mag 5 team. He works so hard, and we are so excited to have him a part of the team. He is our Builderall dad, and he's got 2 of our Builderall babies, and he's going to wow you with what we can do with the webinar platform. So let me turn it all over to the amazing Gene Jaquez.
Awesome, Shelly. An amazing introduction. I don't even need to say my name again, because you already got it down packed. Gene Jaquez is perfect. And mentioned the amazing Builderall babies of mine, of course, love them all. Now, if you guys know me, I like to, whenever we do these trainings, I don't like to just go in, I want feedback, right? I'm a visual guy, I learn visually, and also I learn with feedback, and it just feels good, and also makes me know that you guys are paying attention, okay? So make sure you guys are paying attention when I say I want some feedback, and I have the chat right here on my left monitor, so I'm looking at it. So hello, everybody, and yes, Maria, it's been a long time. Feels like years since we haven't been live here. Well, me, myself. And now, like Shelly said, have your pens, guys, have your papers, or if you're like the cool kids nowadays, just press the screen record and start recording. But you don't really need to do that, because we are streaming this live on Facebook, so you can just watch the replay. But hey, if you want to record it on your screen, on your computer, you want to have an extra backup, go ahead and do so. I know that's how I sometimes take my notes, because I write very slow. So definitely press that screen record button and start recording your screen if you need to. Now, for the first thing that I want to ask you guys, let's see here, who knows what is a webinar and what is a meeting, either a video meeting or a Zoom meeting. I want to see who knows what's a webinar and a meeting, a video conference. Let's call it like that. I'm going to look at the chat here. What is webinar versus a meeting? Awesome. Thank you, Shelly. Let's see. Remember, I'm looking at the chats, guys, and I'm getting all my stuff prepared right here on the screen. Let me close this. And I'm going to show you guys how to actually create a webinar. So if you guys are brand new, which with this amazing launch, we have a lot of brand new people. They might not know how to create a fresh webinar with the pages and everything and how things actually go in place. So I got you covered, guys. I am here to help you guys out. And let's see, we have somebody, we have Tom. Tom says meetings are interactive, webinars is not. Yes, and a little bit of no. You could have a webinar that people interact, right? Because we can kind of call this, if we wanted to, a webinar, because you guys are watching, and guess what? You guys are interacting, right? So there's an interaction to a webinar. It just depends if it's a live webinar or a replay webinar, okay? Let's see. Then Wood says, is there a difference? There's a little bit of a difference, for sure. All right, so you guys kind of get it. And if you don't know, let me inform you. So we have the webinar. So a webinar, guys, you have, it could be a replay, right? A video that you maybe pre-recorded. And I know some people might be maybe shy going live right here, right? You know, it's off the cuff, it's not scripted. So you just have to wing it sometimes. And you might not be able to do that. But if you have a script and you have something that you can actually do to the T, you can record it, pre-record it, upload it, and then host it on our webinar platform. And the people that come in to your webinar, they see it as a live event, right? A live webinar, even though it's pre-recorded, but you still have the option of typing and talking to people in the chat system that the webinar has. So that's a webinar. It can either be live or replay. And you can, with our platform, you can have a couple of people actually be inside the webinar with you, as in how we have here, we have Shelly, we have Jackie, Frank, and Terry. They were here on the screen. That's possible with the Builderall webinar, but it's, like I said, when you want to do a webinar, you might want, as someone I saw said, like you want to pitch something, you might want to demonstrate something, you might want to sell something, right? Compared to a meeting, a video conference, or as people nowadays, because the company Zoom, people just call them Zoom meetings. Even if they're not on Zoom, they might be on Google Hangouts or something like that. They're just used to now hearing Zoom meetings, which is a meeting with a whole bunch of people. It can be 200, 150, sometimes even 1,000, right? But that's a meeting where everybody's in there. Everybody could be talking, and there might be, right, kind of like the theme, or what's the word that I want to say? Just like the feeling like a webinar, because there's going to be a main presenter showing you, telling you what they're pitching you, what they're selling you. But it's in a Zoom meeting type of, can't even say, whoops, I double clicked. But yeah, it's in a Zoom meeting, but it feels like a webinar, but it's in Zoom, compared to an actual traditional webinar where it's a website. People can come in, they chat, they talk to you, you can talk to them back if you want to, or you can have bots in there. So I'm gonna go in today, guys, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. And with our Builderall webinar, we have 3 options, 3 things that we can actually choose when it comes to our webinar. But before that, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys from scratch how to actually create the whole pages. And it's gonna be so simple. I love, this 5.0 launch. They've made things so easy for everybody. And you guys are gonna be professional webinar creators after today. Okay, we might not go super in depth, but I'm gonna give you the basics to start the pages, get them up and running, and then get people to click and start buying whatever it is that you're selling or pitching. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm sharing screen 1. Let's see. You guys should be able to see my screen right now. Yes, I do see it here on the screen. Gotcha. All right, so this is our back office. And now I did my latest project, but we're gonna start from scratch. I'm just gonna show you guys, like I said, how to do it and how simple it is to actually do this now. I mean, it was still simple before, but now they just made it even simpler. So we have here create webinar. When I clicked on start a project. And yes, I want to create a webinar. And now these are all the templates that they have. You can see them right here. If you click right here where it says this launch a book, this is the one that I chose for the example. I already created it and everything, but like I said, I'm going to show you the steps. And if you wanted to see it in full screen, you can click that little eye and you see how it looks right here. And I like that one, but if maybe you like this one, you can click over here so you can actually see it and choose that one. But we're going to choose this one right here. And even it gives you a preview. I forgot to mention that now. So either you could have seen it before by clicking that little eye, or it gives you a little preview here so you know how it's going to look. And if you decide to change your mind for some reason, you can go back, choose another, okay? So let's click on the next step. And then this is pretty cool. This uses the auto tag features that we have in the platform, so that basically almost I say almost everything is already pre-filled. Okay, and I'm not gonna fill it out because I already did, but I'm going to show you guys, you know, what happens when you fill it out. So we're going to enter here the test number 2. Actually, and I'm just gonna write all this here, the same thing, just for test purposes, just for the training. You want to make sure you actually read it, of course, guys. You want to read, give an example name. Let's just actually put my name here, Gene, and it says description. Let's just do that. Name, Gene, description. Okay. So you want to make sure you fill that out correctly. Use the subheadline, right? And it gives you an example here. And then just press next step. And it says name of webinar. Don't worry about this. Just click create webinar. And that's it. Look at that. In less than a minute, we created a full-blown webinar with an opt-in page, an email confirmation page, a waiting page, broadcast page, and so on. I can either go to the site to see it because it's published already, as you can see, but of course we want to edit the website right here, and we want to make changes. But here's a little tip. I don't know if it's because I'm using a different browser, or it could just be today they might be doing things. But I realized today when I was editing and trying this out, right, when you click on go to website page, you're going to see that it's going to show you just the capture page for some reason. I go over here to the thank you page, and it says thank you page over here, but it's showing me the capture page. Now, normally people panic by this point, but you know, we're Builderall users, Builderall members, Builderall family. Right? We like to figure it out, right? So instead of going to support panicking, then why can't I see my confirmation page? I realized that there's spaces, and normally on a link, you don't have spaces. You either have a dot or a dash or underscore, okay? Well, a dot, I think you can have a dot. Okay, I don't even know everything. But as you can see right here, URL address, make sure you guys check. Like I said, it could be me, it could just be my account, or it could just be today that this is happening. So you want to click on the space and delete it and put either a dash or just keep it like that. Okay, so I'm going to press save. And now, where to go? Confirmation page. So if I click on confirmation page to see it, now I actually see the confirmation page. So that's good. So you will have to go in and edit all of these. Just take off the space. And even though normally, naturally, it tells you right here, invalid URL. Okay, and if you try to save it, it doesn't let you save. But because of this, I'm guessing because this came from the wizard, right? It just bypassed it with spaces and didn't add the either dashes or put it together. So now the confirmation page, see, now it's working. But that's just that. But I wanted to show you guys how easy I created instantly with the templates that we have. I created the registration page, the confirmation page, the webinar confirm page, right? And then this is the indoctrination page, the broadcast page, and then the thank you page, all with a click of a button, made simple. And you guys, all you have to do now is just go in there, make some, you know, some tweaks, change the color, change the background. If maybe you decide that this template is just not your branded color, okay? You want to have your video here, you're going to have your video, and change, of course, like I just put random stuff, then you put your pictures and all. So let's go now to the actual one that I have, so I can show you guys. And we're about to get inside the webinar, because now we have the pages where the webinar is going to go. So right here, we have the broadcast. There's a broadcast page, sorry. I had them out of order. But right here, I'm going to have the, let's start fresh. Let's go right here from the registration page. Now, this is some stuff that you guys did yesterday, right? Linking up, not yesterday, just with Jackie Mondays and Tuesdays with Terry, right? Getting to know your cheetah and connecting your mailing box form. So over here, I already have a list, but this is with the, should we call it classic or the old mailing box? I don't know what name to give it yet, but the old mailing box that we had before 5.0. So here we have the webinar training. It's a list that I already created there. Okay. And then when they register here, they're going to go to the confirmation page. This is where they're going to find out, check their email so they can confirm and make sure that they don't miss any emails for any future references. So we have that all set up here, and I'll go over this real quick because you guys did this yesterday. I keep saying yesterday, but you guys have done this week, right? Subscriber pending. We're going to send them to this confirmation page. I like to put the actual URL because it just loads a little bit quicker. Okay, you could, if you want to, do it through here because you have them already there. But just for myself, I like to actually put the whole link, and so you guys can see what this looks like. This is the please wait. So once they opt in, okay, now let's be sure you know your email. Go check your email inbox, or by some crazy chance, your spam folder. And trust me, we aren't spam. So they're going to go see their email. They're going to click that button that's going to confirm their subscription. So now they're a confirmed subscriber. When they confirm, they're going to go to this page. All right, so this is a training starting soon, live event, step 1, whatever it is, hosted by. You can have a video here as well. And then the next step. And here you can have, this indoctrination page. Right? I like to call it the Who Am I page or introduction page. I usually tell people what this webinar is going to be about. And then after that, to the next page is going to be the broadcast page. And this is an iframe. Just to let you guys know, this is an iframe to the webinar. So if I were to put my name here, you guys will see already the webinar happening. But I'm going to show you how we put that there. So let's not jump the gun. All right, so we got that there. Let's see. On the, not just want to make sure. Okay, you guys are paying attention. Good, good, good. All right, so let's close this. And let's go now to our webinar. And now to actually get there, we have tools. And as you can see, I like that we have this tools option. Maybe you want to make sure you just want to do the email engagement. Right? These are all the tools that we have under that. And then we want builders and we want the webinar builder. I'm going to enter the webinar. All right. So as you can see, I already have them here created, just so you guys can actually see how things are going to go. But I'm going to show you how to create it from scratch. So I told you we have 3 different ways that we can host a webinar. So the first being streaming to YouTube/Facebook or a meeting room. So this one right here, this one is if you want to actually have maybe 1 or 2 people in your webinar, or if, let's say, you just want to meet one-on-one with somebody, maybe someone in your team or someone that bought something, you can actually, instead of using Zoom, you could use the webinar platform and create a one-on-one meeting with them. Because as you can see right here, it says have a live meeting with other participants. We can have multiple, but you don't want to have too many because then what's called the bandwidth. And it'll tell you here. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to pick this one. It'll tell you here what's the video quality. And that's why I say you don't want to have too many. So if I wanted to have a webinar room with someone, I can click right here on allow, invite other participants to room. Now, if you see this right here, it says that video quality is middle. So that means it's not going to be the greatest, but it will still have a decent video quality. And what's the max participants in the room? It's 30. Like I said, you don't want to have too many people, but you could have a one-on-one, no problem. And of course, you choose your country. We're in the US right here. Then I would go next, and I would open the webinar room. So when I open this right here, I'm going to enter my name. Let's do Gene J. And let me close this. All right, so this is the webinar room, guys. So now here it's showing that there's no camera because I have multiple cameras selected over here. So let's select my crisp digital virtual camera. Here we go. Oh my God, a dinosaur. I had a dinosaur behind me, I forgot. How about I didn't scare you guys? All right, so let's turn the camera off. And as you can see the microphone here, you have different mic settings right here. I have my Yeti, USB, crisp, the Mac. And another thing that I realized for me, when I'm on Chrome, for some reason, it doesn't display my other devices. I'm pretty sure it's because of a Chrome extension that I have, because it was working before, but now it's not working. So I probably got to disable some kind of extension. So if you guys are going through that situation where you come here to the settings and you do not see your microphone, you don't see the different cameras that you have, it might be your Chrome. Maybe delete an extension, disable it, or just use a different browser like I am right now. I am using, this is called Vivaldi, all right, Vivaldi. So if you guys wanted to get that browser, as you can see right here, I have it on top, it says Vivaldi. All right, so here, now I have the meeting room, but let's grab this. Let's grab here, let's invite someone. I don't know, should I post it here? You guys might click it and then this might go wild with so many people coming in. So actually, let me share with my team. All right, guys, I'm gonna click it. And where's the chat? I wanna send it to you guys. And can one person join just so I can demonstrate this? Just one. So you guys can see that we'll be able to have a one-on-one conference or meeting with the webinar tool. But like I said, we want to use this webinar tool, it's my preference, right? We're in business here. We want to use it for a webinar sales pitch or something like that. Oh, we have 3 people. Well, there you go. Look, 3 people came on. Terry came on and Jackie came on. And their cameras is probably blank because they're using their camera on Zoom. They don't have multiple selecting cameras. Well, I don't know if they do have multiple selecting cameras. But as you can see, that's how it is for the participants. You guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you guys see it right there. We're able to do it with no issues, no problem. But what I'm going to show you guys is how you can actually use this better for your business. So I'm going to end this right here. So you guys can leave. So let's close this. And let's do the other way, right? Let's do the webinar without participants. And we're going to actually add, if you want to, right, you can add a broadcast target. Now this, I'm not going to do this part because this part is self-explanatory, right? When you click on stream with YouTube, I have to authorize it again. And I select my YouTube channel. As you can see, it's very self-explanatory. You guys can do this yourself. Just allow it and continue. Okay, probably gotta change that on my YouTube. And if I want to go to Facebook, I can change either page or group. I have a page right here, and I have multiple pages. And then I will press apply. But for you, you would have to link your Facebook. Like you saw back there, it said choose a different Facebook account. And then I will press OK. So now if I go live, when I open the webinar room, it'll go live onto my Facebook fan page. All right, so we got that. But let's do what we did right here. We have this whole broadcast, this whole webinar, let's call it webinar funnel basically, right? So people are going to register and they're going to see a webinar and they're going to go to this broadcast page right here. Let's edit this page. Let's just have it open. Let's go back to the webinar now. So we have here There's the one that I did. The training right here. The training webinar. And just to remind you, again, for that one, I did streaming. And what I did, I decided to do, instead of a webinar room where you guys will be able to see me live and all that, you can actually use a pre-recorded video. Like I said before, if you guys want to plan a full video where you have everything scripted, you have effects, you have transitions, whatever you want to do to your video, you want to add it here, right? Stream file. I already uploaded a video in advance, but normally if you want to upload a video, just click on the upload new video, you give it a name, the name right here. And if you want to stream this also to YouTube and Facebook, you check mark this. We're not going to do that. And you upload the video right here. But I have a video right here, so I would just press next. And I would open file stream, but we have it already here. So I'm going to edit right here. And then right here, these are the options that the actual webinar gives me. So as you can see, uploaded video, here's the video. I want to show controls, maybe not. Right? Maybe I want to make people think that this is a live webinar, not recorded. So I don't want them to be able to pause it or maybe fast forward. I don't want to do that. So I make sure I don't check mark this. Then this right here is schedule, right? So this is going to emulate that the webinar is going to start in 3 seconds. Let's put 5, right? 5 seconds. So once they land on this page right here, right? They're going to put the name, but it's going to say that the webinar starts in 5 seconds. And then right here, this is our chat. So with a webinar, you want to have a chat because you want people to actually comment and leave feedback on your webinar. And also that gives the sense that there are actual real people when there are people. But there's a little thing out there called ghost. Now, when it comes to ghost, I'm not talking about actual, spirits. These are digital spirits, let's call them. Right? These are digital ghosts. So I love this feature because when you have a webinar and maybe you just have 2 or 3 people actually join, right? You can give yourself a little boost of confidence and just a little boost of credibility, showing that there is a certain amount of people in your webinar. So let's say that we have 50 people, right? Count of ghost users that will be added, right? And it's going to be 50. And normally people leave, right? Normally people come and go to the webinar. So you can put a 15, 10%, whatever you want, that people are going to leave and then come back. So it's going to fluctuate. The one case with ghosts. That's for sure. This is the only one case where ghosts are a good thing. So here we have the ghost users list. Now you can either add them individually yourself. I'm going to add, let's see, we have here Shane Wilbanks, right? And we also have, Linwood, taking the names here from you guys from the Facebook. Linwood Jones, you can do that. As you can see, we have 2 ghosts. But this is pretty cool. I haven't seen this before in other places. Maybe there are out there, but who knows? But I love this here. Here we have English names, and we have Italian names, and Dutch names. So if I click here, as you can see, there's a bunch of English names, a bunch of wow, that's a lot of Italian names, and a whole bunch of Dutch. I guess there aren't that many English names. So just make it short and simple. Let's just import the English ones because that's a lot of Italian names. I don't want to import so many names. So we get to actually import these into our webinar. So here we have all these people right here. But now we gotta make the ghost speak, right? We gotta make them speak. So here on messages, we want to click the little ad. And then you have all the ghost users right here. What are they going to say? So here is the time. We'll go with the message first before the time. And let's say that Shane is going to say, "This is awesome." And let's for the sake of training, let's make it really short. So in 10 seconds, and let's add messages. Then right here, let's say, then Woods is going to say, I am not afraid of ghosts. Or I'm not scared of ghosts. And that's going to be 20 seconds. And then let's say that Jack or Oliver, let's do Jack. I'm going to say amazing training, Jane. And he's going to say it in maybe in a minute and 5 seconds. So as you can see, right, you're planning out your whole webinar here. So you already pre-recorded your video. You know at what specific time you said something that you think someone might react. So you know that at minute and 5, you put that Jack said, amazing training, Gene. And then maybe at the 10-minute mark, you ask a question and maybe Shane answered it and you put the answer right there. Okay, so this is what's cool about this. It might be, some people might think that you're deceiving people a little bit, but listen, it's just how the business is, right? I hope you guys don't take it personal as a bad thing that you're lying to people. It just helps a little to see that there is actual engagement, because not everybody sometimes wants to talk in a webinar until they see others actually taking action and maybe answering questions. As you guys know, in real life, when you're in a group event and maybe somebody, the speaker is asking something, you're all looking around to see who's going to be that first one. When that first person ask a questions or answer something, you're like, all right, you know what? Now I'm comfortable and now I can actually ask or answer a question. Okay. But the other thing that you can use the ghost for is just practice. Right? You get used to seeing people in your webinar. Then later on, you won't need ghosts because your webinars are going to be jam-packed with a whole bunch of people. All right, so we have that there. So let's get out of that. So we edited the ghost users. Now this right here, this is important. And you want to get it specific to your site, right? Depending on how you placed your iframe right here. Okay, so this is the iframe, and I made it decently big, not too big. Okay, but I want the chat to be on the side. So for that, I click right here. The position of the chat is going to be on the right side. You can have it on the bottom, top, left, or overlap. I wouldn't recommend overlap. So definitely either left or right, or bottom or top, either or. I have it on the right. And then this is the size of the chat. It's going to be 30% of the whole webinar iframe. So just to give you guys an example, so you guys can actually see the changes happening. Let's go back. So let's go back over here. You guys are going to see the change instantly happen. That's another great thing. The changes happen fairly fast. All right, so I'm going to join this one right here. As you can see, look, it was 5 seconds, and then the webinar starts. There's the pre-recorded video. As you can see, it says that we have 100 people. Shane said this is awesome. And as you can see, the chat right here is 30% of the whole thing, the whole webinar. But like I said, let's change it. Let's change it from 30% to maybe, let's make it 16%. Here, I didn't have to do edit. I didn't have to press save this. I love that this instantly saves whatever changes you did. So let's refresh this. Let's go back in. And as you can see now, it's only 16%. And then in a couple of seconds, we're going to see Shane. And I already have a buy button here. I'll show you guys where I did that and what's the point of that, of course. So let's go back. Let's put it back to 30. 30 is a good number. Do 30. All right. So we have the chat here. A couple of things you also want to see if you want to change is how many messages, either the max messages that is going to keep there to display. It's not going to delete them. It's just going to update. But it can only show a max of 100 or maybe a max of 50. Okay, so that's like the history. And then you can actually save the chat so that when, let's say, the replay, someone comes in, they're going to see people talking, right? It's not going to be a bot anymore. It's actually going to be the people that attended the last webinar that you had, because you saved it. You can even download it, but there's really no chat to download here. Then right here, we can actually pre-moderate the comments. And what that does is, if I click here on open moderation, and let me actually go back, where is it? I'm going to say, this is just, oh wait, let's refresh because I changed it to 30%. So let's do that. All right. This is just horrible. So Gene wrote, this is just horrible. So if I go back over here, this is just horrible. I can delete this. And as you can see, it's gone. So you can moderate the comments when you log in, when you click on the open moderation tool. Okay. So this is good, so that if there's any hate comments, any, you know, the internet is the internet and people will be people. So they might comment some bad things and you just don't want to have it there. So you want to be able to delete comments that are not necessary and don't need to go there. Right? But you might be thinking, all right, so I have this webinar, it's pre-recorded, but I'm not on my computer, Gene, to actually talk back to people. Okay, because people are here talking and they're chatting, you know, blah, 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 whatever it is. But you're not on the computer. You don't have this open. This is an amazing right here. This integration. This is a separate tool. And it's our chatbot. Now, I'm not going to go in too much into the chatbot. I'm just going to show you guys how you can actually get this integration key. Because the chatbot, it's a complete different training that we can get into. And I'm pretty sure my team agrees. So just to see that you guys are still here with me, who here in this Facebook, who has a Facebook fan page? I would say raise your hand, but you guys are not here with me. You guys are here on Facebook, so say I have a fan page. And I know you guys have a Facebook because obviously you're here watching on Facebook. Jackie, definitely, I know you have Facebook fan page. Okay, so this right here, we're going to get this integration key that I added. Francisco has a fan page, awesome. Okay, so this was going to happen. We're going to add an integration key from our chatbot tool, and that's going to link together our what's it called, our fan page, so that we can use. Good thing I didn't throw it because I was going to throw it behind me. But so we can use our phone, right, our messenger, so we can actually reply back to this webinar that people are watching. They'll be able to see you actually reply back, and you'll see the comments go back and forth. So we're going to get this. So let's go back to our Builderall back office. And let's go to our chatbot. Chat builder. Well, let me show you guys another cool thing that you could do instead of just going over here. Right, I can actually just type in chat if you didn't know. And here you go. Look, chat builder, website chatbot. I want the messenger chatbot. I'm going to enter here. And for me, I've already linked my fan pages. Okay, so for you, you guys might get a little pop-up that says, I think connect Facebook. You'll click on it. You connect your Facebook. And then you'll see your fan pages here. All right. So what I want to go over here to the left where it says integration. And I've already created one, but just to show you how to do that, you click on create new integration. And then we can name it here. Well, before we do that, let's actually make sure we want the new webinar. We don't want the old webinar. And we're calling it the test 1, the new webinar, the fan page right here. And for some reason, it doesn't display my picture. It did before. And then I'll press submit. Okay, so I press submit. Now I have the test 1 and I have the integration key here. Let's just copy this one. I already pressed create, so might as well. All right, so then we paste this integration key. Make sure you do not have any spaces. We paste the integration key, and then the chatbot name, right? When you reply back with your phone on the Facebook Messenger, you can have the name right here, and it's going to be Mac5 Gene, or maybe we can call it the real Gene. Okay, and that's that for the chat feature. Okay, so now you guys saw that when we had the webinar showing, you saw like a little buy button come up. And that buy button is called here, instead of a button, we call it banners, because basically a banner, it can be any size that you choose. It doesn't have to be a button. It can be an image saying, you know, congratulations or great, whatever it is. But banners right here, I added a banner that says buy now, and it pops up in 5 seconds. Now, obviously, because of training purposes, I made it 5 seconds. Right? You can make it, you know, 60 seconds, maybe an hour after you know that your pitch is going to close, and you're going to say, so right now there should be a buy button, or there should be a register button, or whatever you want to call it, that's going to appear on the chat. When you click on it, it's going to take you to website ABC, and you register or you purchase, or whatever it is that you're going to send them to. So to do that, I clicked on add banner. I gave it a name, right? So let's call this button 2. Botón 2. And then it can be an iframe. You can have embed code, hyperlink. I like to use an image. And then the image that I'm going to use, let's actually use a new one. Let's use a new button. But I'm not a great designer, okay? But I want a buy button, a really nice one. But I don't want to hire someone either, right? I'm on a budget. Let's see if you guys know this. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat. I can pay $5, somebody can make it. I can go to Canva if I want to, right? There's a lot of buttons there. But Builderall might have some buttons. Who can give me the answer to this? Where can I find graphics in Builderall? I'm gonna give you guys a couple of seconds so you guys can go into your back office and give me the name. Where can I find graphics? Right? I want a button, or maybe a background. But of course, for this, I want specifically a button. So where can I find a button in Builderall? I'm gonna look for it here, but I want you guys to tell me before I find it, okay? What is it called? And do we even have that? I see it says, would that be Trello? That's a good one. We do have some great resources in Trello, but Jeff got it. And Jeff, if I was giving $25 gift cards, I would give you $25 right now. But you got it. I'll give you a digital high five. Design Studio. So let's go. Let's type in here design resources. Well, studio resources, tomato. Right? We get the gist of it. That's how it is. So design resources. Tyree, you said design studio also. But here we go, guys. If you didn't know, now you know how awesome Builderall is. You should know already. But here we have buttons, elements, badges, backgrounds, gradients, social media icons, man, so many things. And you're already paying for this. You don't have to pay anymore. Just click on buttons. Look at all these cool buttons they have. And I'm going to click download, and it takes me to this cool little drive, Google Drive. I want a buy now button. Or maybe instead of buy now, since I already have a buy now, let's do a register. Yeah, let's do register. Let's see. That was nice. Let's pick one quick. I want to be here all day. That one's good. Go. Or maybe this one. Let's pick this one. All right, so I'm going to right click, and I'm going to download. And I'm going to press save as. And let's just save it as register button. All right, so we got buttons. And let's go back to the webinar. Let's click right here. And let's go to downloads. Oh, no, wait. It's register, not buy. Register, open. And there you go. There's the register. Now, what do I want, or where actually, where do I want to send them? Once they click this little register button, they're going to go to https builderall.com. So I want it to be displayed over the whole room, or maybe over the text, or over the video. From my experience, I usually like to use over the chat, but let's just for the, just for training purposes, let's do the whole room. So it's going to take basically almost the whole screen. When do I want this banner to show up? Let's do 3 seconds. And for how long do I want it to last? Right, so it pops up in 3 seconds, and then they have 60 seconds to click on it. Let's say that they have 5 seconds to click on it. And the percentage of the banner by percent of the room width or original object size, I like to do this. And about 80, maybe 75% actually, or 70% of the window width. So I'm happy with those settings, and I'm going to click Add Banner. All right, so we have that. So button 2 comes up in 3 seconds, and the buy now comes in 5 seconds. That must be like the fastest sales pitch ever. So we have that there. What's cool also, even though you do have this right here that it comes out at a certain time, you can literally say show now or hide. So that's cool. So if you're here and you're watching your webinar replay and you see that people are engaging a lot, and maybe you want to show it again, you can actually press show and it will show again on the webinar. And this right here, guys, I don't touch. I tried it, but I don't know CSS. This is text chat custom CSS. So if you do know how to play with CSS stuff, by all means, you can put that there. Me, simple Gene, right? I have no idea how to add stuff there or how to use CSS code. So I leave it to the super professionals out there that know how to add CSS code. So we got that there. All right, the next thing we want, right, the webinar appearance. So this is if you're going to have, like I said right here, that the webinar is going to start in 5 seconds, right? Or maybe let's do 10 seconds so you guys can actually see it. So let's go back over here on the webinar appearance room. This is going to be like the background right here. It's called poster. You can either have a video maybe, right? So I have the video there, but I'm just going to have an image. Oh, man, I took it off. I should have not taken it off. Let's see if I can select it again. Which one was it? Okay, it was this one. All right, so this is the recommended size. As you saw there, it said 1280 by 720, I think it was. Let's be sure. So let's remove it again. Yeah, so 1280 by 720, that's the recommended size you want to upload the picture of right there. So let's select the picture again. And I want it to fit, cover, fill, or contain. Cover is pretty good. It basically covers the whole area. And here's the custom CSS. Like I said, if you guys know CSS, go ahead. And then this is the timer appearance. Font size, secondary font size. We don't really have secondary font size on it, so we don't have to worry about that. But let's just make it a little bit bigger. And text color is going to be white. The background is black. All right. And just to see how that looks, let's go. Did I close it? Yes, I did. Let's go back to the cheetah. All right, so let's see how that looks like with the changes that we did. As you can see, it says 10 seconds. The background was black and the text is white. And then bam, it starts. Look, register now, buy now. So when I click on, oh, it went away. I didn't get to click on it. Oh man, I didn't get to click on it. So what happens now? Well, remember what I told you right here in the webinar. If I want, I can show the button again. There you go, look, it popped up. So I can show it again. if somebody maybe in the chat says, hey, where is the register button? Where's the buy button? I missed it. Can the button come back again? You can definitely be like, of course, and pop it up and they can click on it. And it takes them to your purchase, your product. And of course, there's the X so they can actually close it and keep seeing whatever webinar they're watching. And remember, what I love about this, guys, is that this isn't a cheetah website. So even though you have, the cool features of the webinar by adding a buy button here on the actual webinar where people are talking, you can still have an additional button or more buttons here where they can actually buy and go purchase whatever you're selling. Or you can have here maybe contact support or chat with me, whatever it is. This is a cheetah website, so I can add multiple buttons. All right. So I have here the webinar, and I have my cheetah buttons over here. So there can be a button, it can be a timer. Literally, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want in this, cheetah website. So let's close this and let's close that. So you guys know now you can hide it, bring it back, whatever you want. Now this right here, email settings. I personally don't use it because they came in through an opt-in, right, through a capture page that collected their name and email, or up to you, you can collect their name, email, phone number, color, hair color, eye color, whatever you want to collect. But this is for logging in, and right now for logging in, we just have the name. So you can see right here it says enter name. But if by some reason, maybe you're just sending them directly, instead of to a cheetah page, you're just sending them to the embed code right here. Well, not the embed code, but the direct link. You're sending someone directly just to the link of where the webinar is being hosted and not the cheetah page. You might want to collect their name and email. So you would click right here, require email on login. You create a reference, you give it a name. I usually leave it at 0, action, you want it to subscribe, and you choose your list right here, and then you press create. I already have here webinar training. So now that I check mark this, you will see now that when I go over here, let's refresh. Internet froze. Okay, let's just close it and let's reopen it. All right, so now you see it's collecting the name and email. And for me to join, I have to put that, because if I don't, let's see what happens. It doesn't work. I can't go in. So I need to put in my email. And let's join now. As you can see, we have the 10 seconds to wait for the webinar to start. And bam, it starts. But if you don't want that, we have this popping up and all that. If you don't want that, let's take it off. I normally don't add that. And then here, instead of, let's put 0 seconds. Right, so we don't want them to wait. We want them to instantly, once they come in, it's going to go straight to the webinar. You see, there's no waiting because we put 0 seconds. But it's all up to you, right? You have full control of this webinar, and you have control of so many things here. And so we have, let's do 5 seconds again. So this right here, guys, this is just the one way that I showed you, right? And this is the one that I did right here. It was with pre-recorded video. A lot of people like to do that. But let's see if we have a broadcast on demand. This is a different webinar. And here I put a YouTube video. I don't recommend to put a YouTube video because, as you saw, there are multiple stuff. I can click out and watch it on YouTube. But just for training purposes, I just did it that way. I just added a video just to display a video. And as you can see here, I put the chat in the bottom. If you want, you can fix it and put it on the right side. But just left like this. But this is the other option that we have. And it is the live on demand with chat and login. Okay. So here you can do the same thing. You can either stream your camera and stream it to YouTube, or create a pre-recorded like I did, right? I added, I give it a name, this testing 2. Then here, when you click create webinar, it just gives you the option right here to either do a YouTube video, iframe, upload a video, or a video from the video manager, or YouTube live. Okay, so this is good if you guys want to go live using YouTube inside your broadcast room. Okay, so then I would normally, I'm not gonna go in depth into this because this, like, it's self-explanatory. It says this event was started 3 hours ago. Oh, I didn't put a time. So here it says that it started at 10. So we definitely wanna change that. So let's just go back. Let's go to here, the one that I did. So this one I have here, the YouTube video. And one thing that I forgot to mention, you guys, is that when your live webinar is over, well, not live, because we did pre-recording. And when it's over, when the video's over, whether it's on YouTube or an uploaded video, you might want, right, you have banners and all, but people maybe didn't click on it for some reason. But now that the video's over, I love this feature that it actually takes them to a specific link, right, a URL that you design, so that when the video is over, it takes them to that buy now page because they didn't click on the banner that you put, right? So now that the video is over, you want them to be redirected to that buy now page. And with this, you can do the same thing, right? We have the edit goals users. You can do the integration key. I didn't do it on this one. You can add the banners as well. And then on this, it doesn't have a webinar appearance, but another thing that I didn't talk about, because it's another training in itself, right? The social proof. So we have the social proof, and this, what it does, it collects the data from people that registered, and it'll display on your webinar, right, on the page, saying that, hey, Jackie just registered for the webinar, or Shane or Shelly registered. So this, the display, not display, the social proof, this is pretty cool. And then again, the email settings. So nothing really changed on this one. Okay. Let's see. So let's pretend. So let me actually show you guys when this finishes. So let's see what happens when the video finishes. It should send me to a different place. Oh, there you go. And there it sent me to, I wanted it to go to my YouTube channel. And it just refreshed the page. If I want, I go back. And then now the whole webinar started again. And I have it on autoplay. And if I were to watch the whole video, the video finishes. Oh, I fast forward. Maybe fast forwarding does not help it detect. I press fast forward with the keyboard. Let's see, there you go. It refreshed and it took me to the page that I put right here in the back, and it was my YouTube channel. Might be a little, I guess, self-promotion. Subscribe. All right, so let's go back. All right, so now the last option, guys. So we did this one, we did this one. Now the evergreen. Now this is pretty cool. This, you guys usually are used to seeing this on big influencers or business people that host webinars, right? They call them evergreen webinars for the reason being, right, they're always on replay. You can always watch them, but you watch them at a specific time because you want to say that this webinar has a limited amount of seats, limited amount of time that's going to be shown for who knows what reason, right? So here, as you can see, it says you can create a continuously repeated webinar with selected intervals. This is the important part. Schedule several webinars for one room. So you don't have to have multiple webinars here, like I have here. You don't need to have a whole bunch of them. You can just have one or multiple webinars in here. Oops. Go back to finish reading. And create a form to allow clients to subscribe to a webinar, and you get to collect their emails. So with this one, this was the only one. The difference with this one is you actually have to grab the, what's it called, the embed code, right? The HTML code that you're going to put in on your capture page. You're not going to use the regular email marketing form. So I'm going to show you guys. So we selected this. Let's go next, and let's do testing number 3. And let's go next. And then you just click create webinar. I'm not going to click it because I already have it right here. And it's right here, Evergreen. And now, how's an Evergreen? Okay, you guys are paying attention. All right, so here, in this one, there's a little difference. As you saw on the previous two, it finished with email settings, but this one actually has now forms. Okay. Well, let's go through it again. Content. I want it to be, whoops. I want it to be the content here that the webinar is going to be an uploaded video. I already have the video here selected. Do I want to show controls? Actually, no, I don't want to show controls. Start date is going to be today at 3 p.m. Okay, right now it's 1:15. And the duration of it, it's, let's say it's going to last 70 minutes. And is this on repeat? Let's put yes, it repeats, and it repeats every 2 hours, okay? So that means if somebody comes after it's over and it still hasn't been 2 hours later, it will say, this webinar will begin in an hour and a half, 30 minutes, whatever it is, when they come in. And then of course, here we have, when the webinar is finished, we have the link where they're going to go to. We still have the same thing, right? The chat, host users, I enabled it. And here we have save history. I forgot to add the integration key, but you could add it if you want to, or if you don't. And then of course the banners, buy right now, and I added the button. So that's one event. But I have now another one. Maybe this one is happening tomorrow. Or instead of tomorrow, it's happening Saturday. How about that? So like that. Start time is going to start at 1 p.m. And the same thing, 2-hour intervals. Nothing changes. It's the same webinar video that I'm posting. Excuse me, guys. Give me a second intermission for water. And it's not Fiji water, by the way. It's just my wife's bottle. Water is the best thing to drink ever. All right. So we have here 2 events. And if you want to add more, right, what I did, I duplicated it. But if you just want to add new, you can just click add new, start date, start time, and you create. Or if you want to use the same settings, right, same video and all, just click duplicate. And are you sure? Yes. And let's change this one. Instead of Saturday, let's do Tuesday. Nothing changes. We're good. And that's it. So now we have 3 events that repeats every 2 hours, different days. And let's go to webinar appearance. We're not doing social proof. You could if you want to. And let's do test. Then the placeholder image. Remember when we're waiting for the webinar to start, is the image. Text, I want it to be white. That's that, and I want the background to be black. Now, email settings. Here, we're not going to require them to log in, right, with email. We're just going to uncheck that. And I like to make sure that you guys apply this reset to my local time. And if it doesn't reset to your actual local time, you can easily click right here and select your time. For me is Eastern, so I'm good with that. So let's scroll down. So here, next, tags will be replaced in messages that you will send to your leads. So webinar title, we're going to call it, this is the webinar training. Ooh, my computer is going slow. Putting it to work with this live. And then the live link, right? It's actually this right here. Where's Cheetah? Live link is here. I duplicated this one, the broadcast page, and I called it broadcast evergreen. I want to get this link. I'm going to click three dots, go to the setting. Go to website, copy it. You know what? I realized that I didn't even show you guys how to put that iframe there. What happens when you're just human? We make mistakes. So here, that's the live link. And then if you have a recorded link, but it's the same one, let's just go here. And then we're done here. And then here we have the forms. So this is what I said, that the only difference with this one is that you have to create this form here in the webinar, and then you embed it onto your capture page. All right, so here's a form. So I want to join the webinar. You can call it maybe join the training webinar. So what happens after they subscribe? We got the link already, right? It's this link. They're going to go to the broadcast page. So I have that, let's close this. I have that here, right there. If I'm collecting social proof, if I have it set up, I can add it here. Then email notifications. So this is good, guys. This is what I like, is that they've registered. So now they're going to get notifications via email. And if you're collecting phone numbers, which on this form, I did put it because that's another tool that we have. If you guys didn't know, we can send text messages. Now let's see who here did not know that we can send text messages. So I should be seeing the comments being flooding saying, I knew this already. Because you should know. And if you didn't know, oh man, you're missing out. And now you know, go purchase some SMS credits. Okay. But you send them emails and you send them SMS notifications, reminding them, because that's one of the things that people usually forget when they register for a webinar. I know it happens to me. I register for a webinar, and guess what? My little tiny brain that I have already messed up because of the kids in the army, right? I forget. I'm very forgetful. But I get notifications on my phone that, hey, the webinar is about to start. I get it via text, and then I get it via email. And we're able to do that. And I love that. So here you can add a sequence. I think I already have one, but let's just say, hey, don't. Oh, wait. You already have one here. Okay. So here, well, let's click, let's add. So the subject, let's do just a reminder again. And let's do, so what is the email going to say? It's going to say, hey, what's up? And their first name. Here is another reminder about training webinar coming up in a few seconds. And then I want to put, here is the link, just in case you don't have it already. You're asking, okay, but what's the link? Well, we already pasted that, remember? When we did the webinar live link. So we click right here, webinar live link or pre-recorded link, whichever one you want, because we put the same link. So it's going to take them to the same place. What else do we want to send this? So this, if you want to send this literally right after they subscribe, right? When they came in and opted in through that form. So as you can see, it says right here, subscription confirm message sent when user subscribes to the form. I already have one. So this is going to be maybe, let's do, maybe we do 4 or 5 minutes before. Because I already have one message over here that's going to be sent as soon as they subscribe. It's going to say, what's up? Want to make sure you remember that the webinar is starting real soon. So make sure you don't miss it. Here's the link. That's the link. There you go. You're going to get 2 emails. And the email is going to be, I have this here just for test purposes. And then here is the SMS. I love the SMS feature. So let's click on SMS. And here I already have a sequence. And it says, hey, it's Jean, and thank you for registering to my webinar. And this is going to be sent as soon as they opt in and put in their information inside the form. All right, so that is that with this. And then these are the events. So here, if I uncheck this right here, it's not going to show the events, but of course we want to show it. So we want to click right here. And here are the 2 events that I had here. Well, 3, because I added another one. Let's actually put this one right here. Just to be sure, so you guys can see the events. We have 1, 2, 3. And when we go over here, we have 1, 2, and 3. Count of nearest events, you can change it to, let's just leave it as 1, just to make things, well, not make, just keep things simple. Let's do here max 50 people, 3 seats. Let's do 25. And on this one, last day, there's only 10 seats available. All right, so we got that. We're almost done with this one. Now, this, I love that I have so many cool themes. But I went with this one. But you guys can choose, of course, whichever one you want. You can go with classic, right? And it gives you a preview of how it looks like. You can go with standard. You can go with modern. That was pretty nice. Blue, minimalist, theme, theme 7, theme 8, and I think that's where it ends. Yeah, there you go. Theme 8. But that was nice. So for me, I made a duplicate of the registration. So let's check it out right here. Well, before we check it out, let me actually show you, since I said I didn't show you how you add an iframe and add the stuff. Let's make sure we do that. All right. So as you can see, it changed right here because I changed it. Okay. I had a different theme. So just to show you guys how I added this, or how you actually add just in general, the iframe of either the webinar itself, like the broadcast and all that, or just this form itself. I went to add elements. Let's go to iframe, drag the iframe. All right, iframe is there. Let's right click and this pops up, general settings. And you can either put the URL or the embed code. I like to normally just do the whole direct URL. So let's actually pick the minimalist right here. And let's get embed code. Let's copy, see, direct link. And let's paste it right here and apply. Yes. Well, that scared me. I don't know if you guys noticed, but just my freaking Alexa went off for some reason. Got freaked out out of nowhere. Someone just taught me, whoa. Okay, this one's too big. So let's actually go back to the other one I had. The one I had, I got it to a pretty good size. All right, so I don't really need to get the embed code because I already have it here. So let's just go back, right click on this, and just click apply again. And boom, there you go. So there you go. Here is the form. And should we save it? Well, since I didn't make any real changes, we can leave it like that and let's not even save it. So let's not save it. So now let's actually take a look at it. Let's see. All right, so as you can see here, I have now 3 different events, the 2nd, the 4th, the 7th. I can't join the 2nd because I'm busy right now. And either way, at 3, I have to take the baby to her class. And let's do the 4th. So there are 25 seats available, and there's only 10 seats on this date. So let's do this one, 25, my name, my email, and my phone number, and register. And there it takes me to the webinar. But it starts in 1 hour and 28. So I gotta wait. It doesn't start yet. Remember, it goes every what's it called? Every 2 hours. So technically what I was supposed to do on this one, I messed up a little bit. So on this one, oh, where is it? This one we select here. I think I have it. I have it right now. That's weird. Well, I'll check that again later. But as you can see, I was able to pick different dates, different time. But let's actually change this. Let's put it to go live now, if we want to, by going to the webinar and just changing it right now. And maybe it doesn't repeat, so that we can actually see it now. No repeats and no repeats. Let's see if it starts right away. Oh, what time is it now? It's 1:33. Honestly, I have it start at 3 p.m. So it is 1, and let's change it to 1:33. Let's leave it like that. 1:33. Let's see now if it starts right away. Just start right away. There you go. So there it started. I didn't have to wait. And there it goes, user. And that was, guys, the last way. As you saw, this was the last one, the Evergreen Webinar way, that you can create your webinars. Now, with all this information that I gave you guys, you can do a presentation for your network marketing company. As you guys know, I am, Builderall network marketing specialist, right? So I deal with network marketing or just any, other companies that you can advertise and use with Builderall, right? Any affiliate program. It doesn't have to be specifically network marketing, but you can do a presentation for, that business, or you could do a one-on-one quick meeting with someone, or you could just have a pre-recorded video of a previous webinar that you had for your business, right? A presentation, or the possibilities are endless. And if you guys agree, type in the comments right now that Builderall 5.0, or just Builderall in general, type in Builderall rocks. And I want to invite the team back so they can come join me. Let me stop sharing my screen and share in the amazingness and excitement of how much Builderall. Drink water again. Hold on. Can't even say Builderall.
Wow, that was so great. I'll tell you, everybody is amazed inside of Facebook. I think you fed them the fire hose and they're still recovering, because I don't think they really knew how much was going to hit them today, even though we warned them it was immersive training. I think that they just didn't realize how powerful that webinar platform is. There was one question that I did my best to answer, but I don't think that there's a good answer. And that is, if a person pays for attending a webinar and then they miss the webinar, does it automatically allow them to reschedule for another time? And I don't think that automation is in there, but I will take a moment to let you know about the help desk software that we have, so that you can make sure when you're setting up your company and setting up your websites and setting up these webinars, especially if there's something that purchased, there's going to be support needs, and you can use that help desk software to actually handle those support needs, like the person that bought the webinar and then was not able to attend for whatever reason. So make sure you're paying attention to that help desk software. And we're going to have that training tomorrow. And I'm so excited about that. But Jean, you did such a fabulous job of covering all the different ways that you can do webinars inside of the platform. And I think that people just kind of had an idea of what it could do, but now they have a definite vision of what it can do. And there's so many different directions that you can go. And I loved what I posted in there. Here's what you can do with a webinar. And then Jackie jumped in and said, you can also do this. And then somebody else said, you can also do this. And you can also do this. There's so many different things you can do, but I promise you, it won't do a blooming thing if you never jump in there and learn how to use it. It will just be software that's sitting there if you never jump in there and learn how to use it. So Jean did a great job of showing you all the different things that you can do to jump in there and start testing this and playing with it and setting it up for doing a webinar for your own product, your own services. You can even create webinars for other people and get it ready for them so that they can do the webinars. There's so much that you can do. So jump in there and start playing with it now. It's a very, very powerful tool. And I think it's one of those redheaded stepchildren because I think people are kind of afraid to jump in because they're not sure about it. And Jean has just clarified everything that you need to know to jump in there and get an amazing webinar set up. So great job, Jean. You knocked it right out of the park, which is fantastic. Tomorrow we have one more big old Pizza Friday training. And that is the one that I'm actually most excited about because I've already implemented this on my own websites. And that is the help desk tool. This is a tool that allows you to create a support system for any company, any website. And not only that, you create the support system and you can have your chat and your ticket people jump in and actually monitor and manage for you. So it is really a big deal. And Jackie's going to be the one that's going to walk you through it. I'm so jealous because this is one that I grabbed onto really fast and I hate to not be the one training it, but Jackie's going to knock it out of the park. No doubt about it. You guys are going to be amazed at this one tool. And so if we take everything that we've done so far, we've got the Cheetah website builder with e-commerce, drop shipping, and super checkout. To me, that is a product in and of itself that justifies the cost of Builderall. But then we're going to add email marketing and mailing boss, which is what Terry did. And that, again, all by itself could be worth what you pay for Builderall. And then we went into the next thing, which was the membership areas and e-learning. And Frank did that one. And that by itself could justify the cost of the Builderall, the highest level of cost. And then today, Jean went into the webinar. And again, that by itself could justify the cost of Builderall. And tomorrow, you're going to get a whole other tool that by itself would justify the cost of Builderall. So I'm super excited about what they're going to teach you tomorrow. I'm excited about what they've already taught you. Thank you again, Jean, for doing such a great job. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. And until then, I will see you guys all over the internet. And don't forget to build something amazing in Builderall. Bye, you guys.